honest review, having owned this bike for 3 years, a 3-year review of the Kawasaki Ninja 1000 SX. It is the 5th bike I've owned since new. Previously I've had Kawasaki 305, a Kawasaki 750, a Honda CB500 and a Bandit Suzuki 650. And in conclusion, I would say this is probably the worst bike in those that I've had. And I now explain exactly why I would not recommend buying this bike. Okay, first of all, I'm in my 60s. I've had 40 years experience of bikes, and I ride legal speeds. I don't go I don't exceed the speed limits in the countries I'm riding in, and I've been using it for commuting. I've used it for holidays and just general purpose. I'm getting approximately 48 miles per gallon, and the acceleration is lovely, very smooth. It's enjoyable to ride in all types of weather, but the problem is this is sold as a tourer, and 2-up is absolutely useless. My wife has had extensive experience of riding pillion, and she just refuses to ride anything more than about 20 miles on it because it's so uncomfortable. The seat is tiny for pillion, especially with luggage. There's not much space at all. Very comfortable, very high up, and especially the buffeting from the wind. She, as I say, she just refuses to categorically do any touring on this bike. So, going through it, there are good things about this bike. The quick shifter is very useful. I've got arthritic hands, and so it's very nice to be able to change without having to use the gear lever. There's various riding modes, which I find really difficult to change. I keep having to look through the manual to do it. Doesn't seem to work brilliantly. I don't actually understand why you need different riding modes for normal riding. I just keep it on road in all weathers, and it seems to work fine. I think it's probably for a professional rider you might want to use it. Okay, at night, this is the light for the heated grips. It is absolute pain in the neck. You have to have a bit of tape over at night because green light is very distracting when it's pitch black, and unless you cover it up, it's very distracting if you've got heated grips on at night. The heated grips are useful though. Now, most importantly, this is sold with Bluetooth connectivity using a Rideology Kawasaki app, and it just does not work. I've tried in various modes, I've looked on various YouTube channels, I've talked to lots of other owners of this bike, and all agree it just does not work in the UK. It might work in America or other countries, but in the UK it does not work. So you have to get around that. Okay, the lights actually are brilliant at night. They're very good range, and the indicators give a good road sense at night as well. I'm getting about 180 miles gallon, sorry, 180 miles range on the tank, which is very acceptable for a modern bike. Again, comparing it with a Bandit, I got over 200, no problem at all. Okay, so overall, I would say this bike would be about a 3 out of a 5, mainly because it's so uncomfortable with 2-up. Bought it as a touring bike, and as a touring bike it is not very comfortable at all. Handlebars position is nice and upright, and that works as well, but really there's so many gizmos on this bike for normal riding in the UK, where you've got a speed limit of 70 miles an hour. Obviously, if you want to drive at faster speeds like that and want to have a chance of killing yourself, then this bike might be good for you. But for a normal person who wants to ride within the safety limits and the estimated and guaranteed speeds that you're supposed to ride, I can't understand why you need 140 horsepower. Anyway, that's my personal opinion. I will now go through the costings of it. One thing this bike has got is a cigarette lighter that's supposed to give you ability to use as a USB connector. And to do that, you have to buy one of these and stick it in here, which you do, which is fantastic. Go more than about 60 miles an hour. This will start to vibrate and it will lose its connection. So it's pretty useless. Why they don't just have this like this with the USBs ready rather than having to buy an adapter, I don't know why. So that's how it comes on the touring version. Cap on it, so it stops the rain getting in. But if you've got one of these, the only way you can get a USB to work on it, you can't put the cap on it. So another design fault there. Okay, this is the breakdown of the costings of the Ninja 1000 SX 2020 model. I paid £1,000 deposit for it from a previous bike. I've had 36 payments of £140 PSP. I had 3 years insurance, total 410, road tax, 25 months out of the 36 months. The rest of the time I sawned it, so I kept it in the garage over the winter. Servicing, I had one new tyre, and now I've got to give the finance company £7,000 to clear the debt. Petrol, I kept a log from new, and the average I paid was £1.21 per litre, and I got 48 miles per gallon, so that's £930 in fuel, giving a total of 15,096. So I just sold it to someone, and I got 8,200 for it. So in total it's cost me £6,896 in total. That's everything. I've been very meticulous and kept a record of everything I've spent on it. That equates to 83 pence per mile or 52 pence per kilometre. So that is pretty expensive. I did exactly the same thing on a Bandit 650, and after 7 years use of it and a lot of mileage, and I sold it, I got approximately 39 pence per mile.